Week 2 of the NFL's here, and the Eagles' home opener against the San Francisco 49ers is about to take place. And this ain't gonna be no day at the beach. This ain't gonna be walking around San Francisco picking up feces. This is gonna be a battle. This is gonna be ruckus. We got the crowd, full stadium. We're ready to go. I'm ready to go. Eagles, Niners, this Sunday. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by doing, King Dingbat here, and happy Football Friday to all you Dingbats out there. Now, I know you woke up this morning and you were feeling just a little happier than usual, just a little more giddy than usual. You were feeling superb because last night you watched the debacle known as the New York Giants totally choke that game away to the Washington No-Names. Two teams that are morons. Two teams that don't want to win, okay? They both tried to give that game away, and it ended in beautiful fashion. And I know every Eagle fan out there had to feel a little bit better waking up today knowing that that game transpired the way it did. Who cares who won? Didn't really matter for us, except for the humiliation of it. The stupidity of both those teams were apparent. And you got to be thinking like me. The Eagles are better than Washington and the Giants. I believe that. It's a battle between the Eagles and the Cowboys. But before those two teams play, which they will next week, we got a huge game versus the San Francisco 49ers. A game that I feel very comfortable with, a game I feel very confident in. But the San Francisco 49ers are a good team. They have a lot of serious threats on offense and defense we're going to have to worry about. But I will be making my bets. I got my BetQL up. I'm going to be placing some good bets. I'll be sharing with you during the live stream when we stream Eagles 49ers this Sunday. Speaking of BetQL, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Want to get an advantage over your sportsbook? You need to download the BetQL app. Their Best Bets computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best recommendations for every game, for every sports, from point spreads to over-unders to player props. And look, if you don't want to use their model and you want to do your own research like me, well, that's okay. BetQL has you covered. They have all the information you possibly need, from player lineup changes to breaking news to injury report to line changes. You need it. They got it. Head to the App Store or Google Play Store now and download the BetQL app. Or you can head to try.betql.co/500 to get started now. Make sure you enter the discount code 500 to get 25% off all subscription offerings. Also, check their BetMGM offer in the description in order to receive a free year of BetQL. And then check out the Sportbook offers page if you live in one of the eligible states to claim free offers upon signing up to one of the listed sport books. Don't miss out on your chance to beat your sports book this football season. Shout out to BetQL for sponsoring this video. And let me tell you something, okay? They're no joke. Last week, week 1, their best bets algorithm went 13-2 on 5-star bets. Thursday through Sunday, okay? I mean, look, dude, you go 13-2, you're doing something right. So you definitely want to take advantage of that if you want to win your sports book, if you want to get advantage over your sports book. Download the app. Definitely use the promo code 500. You won't be disappointed. Now, speaking of not being disappointed, let's talk about this game this week. The Eagles 49ers. This is going to be a hell of a game. A lot of people think the 49ers are one of the better teams in the NFC. And the fact that they were hurt all last year and so beat up was the reason why they weren't as good. Me, I'm not so sure I think the 49ers are on that level. I think they're very good. I think they have a very good offensive line. I think they have a very good defensive line. I think they have good linebackers. I think they have a good defense in general. I like their receivers. But the one thing about the 49ers, for me, I'm not a Garoppolo guy. I say this all the time. I'm not a Garoppolo guy. I kind of think he's just like, okay. Otherwise, if they thought so much of him, they wouldn't have gone and got Trey Lance. That's just a fact, man. That's just a fact. Now, when you look at this matchup, Eagles, Niners, I mean, are you not pumped for this? Oh my God, I could run through a wall right now, okay? I could run through a wall. I was listening to different content creators. I ran into a couple 49ers, not many of them, and they're talking all sorts of crap about they're going to run over the Eagles. Like, they act like we started playing football in the 1980s. Dude, we're in the NFC East. We ain't no joke. You're coming out east to Philly. Oh, by the way, it's going to be a packed house. First time in over a year. I don't think you understand what that means. That's not like going to a packed house in San Francisco where they're all eating sushi and picking up feces around the stadium. These people are serious. We're tailgating, we're drinking, we're ready to go, we're ready to rumble. This is a different environment. You know, I think that the home field advantage for the Eagles is going to be huge. I think it's huge, even more so than normal, because the Eagles haven't had their crowd there in a year. You saw the stadiums in college football the first week they opened. I mean, listen, that's like, that was insane. It's going to be that kind of environment. I cannot wait. I will be streaming live, so if you haven't, click this like, subscribe. You don't want to miss it. But this game is going to be insane. And the environment is the first thing I think about. With that crowd there, first time in over a year, I think it's going to be intense. Like playoff atmosphere, okay? Now, when you get into the game, the thing that scares me the most about this game, and we'll go right to the 49ers offense. The biggest fear I have in this game is that running game, okay? That running game for the 49ers is good. They lost Mostert. Raheem Mostert gets hurt. He's out for the year. But you have this kid, Elijah Mitchell, comes in. He has over 100 yards. Big game versus Detroit. It doesn't seem to matter when it comes to a Shanahan. Whether it's Kyle Shanahan, whether it's father, they always seem to have good running backs. They're always able to run the ball. And they just keep producing them, turn them out. One guy gets hurt, another guy steps up. Guy gets hurt, another guy steps up. So the 49ers, they run the ball well. And if they're running the ball well and they're putting themselves in third and short spots, then Garoppolo can beat you. That's where he can hurt you and he can beat you, okay? So the running game scares me for the 49ers. That's my biggest fear. My other biggest fear is George Kittle. Kittle is a great player. Actually, Kittle's, Debo, those guys scare me too. No doubt. Brandon Ayuk, I like Brandon Ayuk a lot. I think he's a good player. But those guys all scare me too. But if that running game is going, if they're moving the ball and they're running the ball, it's going to open up everything for that offense. And that's what scares me. We got to stop the run. That's got to be, in my opinion, the priority on this defense, okay? If they do that, then you can start getting pressure and forcing Garoppolo to have to make throws. If I'm going to lose this game, I want Jimmy Garoppolo to beat me. If he can beat me, if he beats me, you tip your hat and you say, oh, well, it is what it is. But you don't let that running game beat you. You got to stop the run. That's the first thing. That's the thing that I fear the most. Their offensive line is good. Our defensive line is good, okay? Last week, we struggled a little bit stopping the run early in the game, okay? Early in the game, we had trouble with that. We kind of adjusted in-game, and that was the end of it. But Atlanta, they don't have the same run threat, in my opinion, as the 49ers do. So you have to stop their run. Of course, George Kittle matching up against any of our linebackers scares me. Debo Samuel is a big-time playmaker. Brandon Ayuk, big-time playmaker. So these guys, the secondary is going to have to step up. Now, I thought the secondary did a pretty good job, and I want to give them credit. I mean, they were going up against guys like Calvin Ridley last week, Kyle Pitts. They did a great job. They did a great job. Part of the reason why they did a great job was because the Falcons were so focused on getting that ball out of Matt Ryan's hand as soon as possible because of the fear of the pass rush. You didn't have a lot of chances to go downfield and things like that. But to me, on defense, first priority, stop that run. You stop that run, you slow it up, force Garoppolo to have to make plays. Force him into third and long situations. If you do that, I think you'll be okay. Because I think Garoppolo, like I said, I'm not a big fan of him. And I'm sure they're going to mix Trey Lance in here, at points. I don't know how many plays. Maybe he gets 5-6 snaps the whole game, okay? But I'm sure he'll be mixed in at points there, okay? Then, as far as our offense goes, okay, Jalen Hurts was absolutely fantastic last week. Absolutely fantastic last week. The 49ers, they only allowed I think they allowed under 6 yards per pass by Jared Goff, who threw 57 times. He had 300 and something yards, but he threw 57 times. Okay? Their pass defense did a great job. Now, they lost their corner, Jason Verrett. That's going to hurt them. No question about it. But they do a good job with their secondary. Obviously, you got guys like Bosa, Armstead. They got a good pass rush, good defensive line, okay? Especially rushing the passer, especially in passing situations. They're very good. Where they're vulnerable, and where I think the Eagles could take advantage of the 49ers, is that run game. The Eagles should be able to run the ball on the San Francisco 49ers. Last week, Miles Sanders averaged, I think, 4.8 yards per carry. Last week, the Lions, they were averaging 4.9 yards a carry on the San Francisco 49ers. So I think the game plan for the Eagles is to stop the run on defense, and then offensively, you got to establish that run. Run the ball, put yourselves in third and short, put yourself in situations like that, and I think you'll have play action, things will open up, but you got to run the ball. This is the week where Miles Sanders is going to go off. I think Miles Sanders has a big game this Sunday, okay? I really do. But they can get at the quarterback. They're very good against the pass. I still think you'll have opportunities with Rager, with DeVonta Smith. They're a little banged up in their secondary now. That may open up some things for the Eagles. I think their tight ends can take advantage of their linebackers. So I think the Eagles have the speed, and that speed is one thing that's going to bother the 49ers. That speed, especially Rager, DeVonta Smith, Quez Watkins, those guys, you've seen how many wide receiver screens that they did, bubble screens that they did the other day, last week. The reason they did it was because you have a coach, a cannoli-eating, gabagool passer outer, a guy who says, this player is good at this. This is what I'm going to do. And I love that they're running those quick bubble screens to the receivers, because what's going to happen is their teams are going to start seeing this on film. They're going to start coming up and trying to play these receivers. And when they do that, you're then going to be able to go over the top and go long on those corners and stuff because they're up there pressing. So the Eagles are setting teams up for the big play down the road. Keep doing it. Keep taking what the defense gives you. That's the other thing I love about Jalen Hurts. He doesn't try to force things in there. He takes what the defense gives you. And you know what? That's okay. Now, the one area and the one big advantage, I think, besides home field, because I think home field is a huge advantage for the Eagles, but the one big advantage I also think that the Eagles have going into this game is that because the 49ers have such an aggressive pass rush, okay, they are going to put pressure on Jalen Hurts. This will happen. It will happen. And that will also cause Jalen Hurts to be able to use his legs to escape. The 49ers have struggled with quarterbacks who are mobile in the past. This has been a struggle for a few years. A lot of times you see over-aggressive defenses struggle with mobile quarterbacks. So I think the huge advantage for the Eagles is going to be Jalen Hurts and his ability to keep plays alive with his feet, get out of bad situations, and then run the ball when he has to. I expect the Eagles to have a lot of ground yards. I think they're gonna run for over 120, 130 yards on the ground. I think Miles Sanders is going to have about 90 to 100 yards. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a lot of yards. They may even get 150 yards. What the hell am I talking about? Okay? I also think you're going to see a big play down the field in the second half. DeVonta Smith, Quez Watkins. Something's going to give because the 49ers are going to have to really start pushing up their safeties and stuff to stop the run that's going to be effective all day. And it's going to create plays down the field for the Eagles. So this is going to be one hell of a game. This is a good game. But both these teams have good offensive lines, good defensive lines, okay? This will be a quality victory if the Eagles win. And it will take us to 2-0 heading to Dallas for Monday Night Football to play the 0-2 Cowboys. Because I'm sure the Cowboys are going to be 0-2 when this mother humper's all said and done. You know what I mean? But in all seriousness, the team that is able to stop the run and run the ball themselves is the team that is going to win this game. And when I look at a prediction and I look at what I think the final score is going to be, I don't think this is going to be as high scoring as a lot of people think it is. I think it's going to be a little lower, and I think the Eagles are going to win a tough one, a tight game. I think the Eagles are going to win 24-20. Late in the fourth quarter, Jalen Hurts is going to drive down the field. He's going to hit DeVonta Smith on a big play. Maybe that defense is gassed. It's going to set up the Eagles on a go-ahead touchdown, and that's how it's going to end up. The Eagles winning 24-20. I think this is going to be a good game, and that's kind of my thoughts on this game going into it, and we're going to see what happens. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Tomorrow, I will be having the Philly Shakedown podcast with Joey Shakes on this channel. So we'll be there here tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, and then, of course, Sunday, we're streaming the Eagles, 1 o'clock Eastern. Be here for that. After that, we're going to go right into post-game. It's going to be like a post-game Cowboy stream. We're going to do that for a while, and then it's second half, it's going to go full-blown Cowboy stream. And then later that night, we'll do another post-game with Joey Shakes, talk about the day. I think the Eagles go 2-0 here. I really do. I like the Eagles' chances, but I respect what the 49ers have as a team. I think the big advantages for the Eagles at the end of the day are going to be, one, you're playing at home, okay? If this game was in San Francisco, I probably would take the Niners, okay? So I think home field advantage means a lot. The other thing is I give the advantage at quarterback to Jalen Hurts over Garoppolo. I think he's the better quarterback. It's just my opinion. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And, of course, don't be a dingbat. So once this game ends and the Eagles claim victory over the stinking 49ers, it is Cowboys week. That's right. It is Cowboys week. Eagles, Cowboys, Monday Night Football. And I need something to bet Mark Holmes on. I do. He doesn't want to give up Joe Boo's head. He likes Joe Boo's head. But, that's okay. Because in the spirit of Jason Kelsey, Zach Ertz, and going blonde, I propose this, Mark Holmes. I say, if Dallas beats the Eagles, I dye my hair blonde. If the Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys, Mark Holmes, you dye your hair blonde. How about that for a bet? You ready to step up, Mark Holmes, and be a man? I'm coming for your meats.